Hey, Shalom. Welcome back. Where you going, buddy? Here we are, continuing with 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 22. Come here, buddy. Rosen. Everybody say hi to Rosen. Let's say hi. He's a good boy. This is my miracle cat. So maybe I'll tell the story sometime or maybe in the chat. So, all right. Verse 22. I'm not going to scan it. We're just going to translate as we go. So let's do this. Vayas. So the verb is asa, ayin seen, hey, and the hey went away. The yod at the beginning tells us he. Oh, by the way, as I'm continuing with this experiment where the second class each day is a bit faster paced than the first one, okay? So that will usually enable us to maybe make it through more verses or something. But if it ends up being a bit shorter, that's not my intent. I'm not trying to do that. Just continue with this experimentation. Remember, you can always slow it down by clicking the gearbox up here and click playback speed and slow it down. Rose, want to read Hebrew with me? So, all right, Yehudah. Then Judah did harah, the evil, be'einei Adonai. In this word, be'einei, this is the plural construct form from ayin, right? Meaning eye. Einayim are eyes, you drop them in. Einei are eyes of, Yod-He, Waw-He. So that's a name. Since it's a name, we say the eyes of Adonai. So literally, be, that's in, Einei, the eyes of Hashem, the name. Right? In the name, which you could just say in Adonai's sight, right? Or some like to say in the Lord's sight, all capital Lord. Note, if you consider yourself my student, then please make his name holy and don't write out the tetragrammaton starting with the letter Y, right? And don't speak that out, please. That's not how we treat it as holy. That's how you treat it as profane, as normal, as mundane. Okay. Vaykanu. Okay. Now, kuf or kof, however you like to call it, nun aleph, kana is to be jealous or zealous, right? Then this is where we get the word kina with a hey at the end, right? So when someone is extremely fervent for God's righteousness, for his holiness, for all of the embodiment of giving kol kavod lo, we say that this person has kinat Hashem, right? The zealousness of Hashem. You'll note that zeal or zealousness and jealousy, it's the same word in Hebrew. Also in Jewish Greek, same word in Jewish Greek as well, zelos. It's pretty easy for that one to remember. Okay, so vaykanu means, in this case, they will make jealous. They will cause to be jealous. Okay, and the vav conversive changes it, and they made jealous. Whom did they make jealous? Him. Mikhol. So that's min plus kol became mikhol from all. So meaning because of all, like on account of all. Asher, which asu. That's again asa. They did. Who did? Here's the subject. Avotam. Av, you probably know, Aleph Beit. If not, I got a video on it in the vocabulary section. Might be cool to have the card up there for that. If one of the topic indexers wants to call that out, I can help you find the video. So if you just put the time code and put it on top, then I can put it in there for everyone. Hopefully it's there, not during the premiere, but maybe within 24 hours. Avot is ancestors or fathers of them. So Asher, which, Asu, Avotam, their ancestors did. So in this case, mikhol, this is the mem of comparison. So it means more than all which their ancestors did. So vayakneu oto, And they provoked him. They made him jealous. Mikhol, more than all asher which asu avotam, their ancestors did. Bechatot with chatot. This is, if you're just listening, chet, tet, aleph, and then the tav, making it plural. Okay, chata or cheta or chatat is a sin, And for those of you who want some extra information, when it's an umbrella term, it just means sin in general, like any kind of sin. But if it shows up in context with other words in sin language, like avon, avera, pesha, etc., then it means accidental sins. But here we don't have that, so it's kind of a catch-all phrase for any kind of sin. So when, or with, chatot the sins of them. Okay? Asher, with which chata'u, they sinned. And you've probably heard chata, chet, tet, aleph as a verb can mean to miss the mark, right? To miss, like to miss. That's true. Similar with Jewish Greek hamartia, it does mean miss, right? But what's very interesting is what is shoot. Shoot is yara, yod resh aleph, which is where we get the word Torah from, right? So if you're not doing Torah, you are missing. Kind of interesting. It's like built in the language. And people wonder why more Jews didn't go along with antinomianism, right? Like with a faith system that was warped into teaching that the law is dead. It doesn't work in Hebrew. It's just so tightly coupled with the language, the sound theology. So, all right. By the way, you don't have to believe like we do to be taking these Hebrew classes. It's my belief that if you study the Lashon HaKodesh in and of itself, this will work out a lot of theological problems, right? Just by seeing what the words say, right? People won't be able to make up stuff anymore. All right, try to translate before I do. I'm not going to move the picture around, just our little laser pointer. Vayas Yehudah. Then Judah, Assad, did harah, the evil, be'einei Adonai, in Adonai's sight, literally in the eyes of Adonai. My eyes. Vaykanu, and they made jealous Oto, him. Mikhol, more than, literally from all, more than all, Asher, which, Asu, avotam, their ancestors did. Bechatot with their sins. Asher, with which chata'u, they sin. By the way, in case you're wondering how I know just off the like that to say with which, that's because with some Hebrew syntax, when you have a verb and we put a noun, even if it's a relative pronoun like this, before the verb, very often, not always, very often, this indicates that the verb is somehow using that to accomplish its goal, to do its verbiness thing, the action stuff, right? So the verb, chata, is to sin, and how do you sin? Well, with sins. So asher, with which. So that's why I said with which instead of just which. It wouldn't quite sound right, right? If you care to look up these things, this is called the accusative of means, right? Kind of advanced syntax. Don't worry about it so much. Just get used to seeing the patterns though, okay? All right, let me do a quick time check. Okay, moving on to the next verse. Verse 23. Oi, sorry. Vayivnu. And they bana. The verb is bait, noon, hey, and the hey went away. Bana is to build. This is where we get the word binyan, like the binyanim, the Hebrew verbal system, the stems. And they built gam, heimah. Also they, lahem, for themselves. Bamot. If you don't know this word, and you're used to the synagogue setting, you might know the bima. It's related to this, bima. What's the bima? The bima is the elevated section of the synagogue where there's usually like a big table, sometimes inclined, and we roll out the Torah scroll on it, right? So that's It's elevated, it's up, it's high, right? Bima. So that's related to this. Bamot, high places. High places. So vayivnu gam heimah lahem, and they built also these, or also they. This I should have marked as emphatic, right? It's definitely emphatic. Lahem for themselves, bamot, high places. Umatzeivot and umatzeivot. Matzeva, mem tzadi, beit hey, is a memorial stone. And if you're talking about Egypt, that's an obelisk. An obelisk, it means an obelisk. But in other places, it doesn't have to be an obelisk, right? Vaasheirim and vaasheirim, Asherah poles, right? Decorative trees. Upon kol givah gavoha, kol, every, and then we have a noun, givah. Givah is a hill, like an elevated place. And then the adjective that's modifying that noun is gavoha, a high one, every high hill. Kol givah gavoha, upon every high hill. The tachat, and under kol eitz raanan, every tree of raanan, which means luxuriant or leafy. They're supposed to be animated. I don't know why only the second was, or leafy. Now, I don't know why. When I first learned this word, I learned it as evergreen decades back. So, but it's really more like a leafy tree. Like, here we go. Here's a, you can see, we have eitz raanan. Eitz raanan. Or, ooh, let's show the banana trees. The Americans might really, the Europeans and Westerners might really like that. See the banana trees? Oh, I think there's even some bananas on this one. Oh, can I? Okay. I'll just take a moment just for the heck. Why not? Why not? We don't do this that often. Okay, let me see if you can see. Let's see. Where is... Okay, that's that one. Oh, yeah. You see, there's some green bananas on the tree. Maybe later I'll try to put an arrow in the video. Or have a kid put an arrow in the video. Okay? Anyway. All right, try to translate before I do. How are we doing on time? Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay. Vayivnu, and they banad, and they built gam heimah. Gam also. Sorry. Heimah, they. Okay, I'm going to cut out the tones for now. Lahem, for themselves. Bamot. Think of the bima. Bamot. High places. Umatzeivot, and memorial stones. Vaasheirim, and Asherah staves or poles or trees. Upon kol, every, givah, hill, gavoha, high, every high hill. Although if talking about a person, it means like arrogant then. Oh, but if talking about Hashem, then it means like lofty. So you can get a lot of words for that, gavoha. The tachat, and under kol, every eitz tree, raanan, luxuriant or leafy green tree. How'd you guys do? Let me see, do I have more here? Okay, that's it, okay. All right, right at 14 minutes, not bad. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Share this channel with other people. We often don't get promoted, and there's all kinds of shenanigans with what's happening, because I tell the truth about the religion of shalom and other stuff like this, and Democrats and other types of things that make me not favored with the video service we're using here, right? The primary one. So I really would appreciate it if you get the word out. If these videos help you let people know, we're really trying, we really should be reaching a lot more people than we are right now. All right? Please pray for the work I'm doing, and if you like it, consider becoming a patron. The link is down below, patreon.com/Hebrew literacy. Or there's other ways to give if you like to give. Check in the description, you can see how to do that. And if you're in the Philippines, you can send just to Hebrew on, I think it's Gcash or PayMaya. Maybe ask me first. All right, shalom, shalom. You guys have a great and blessed day. One more last look at the beautiful view, and I will catch you tomorrow for Koheleth.